Media. As you set these goals of creating outcomes and creating a life experience that is beyond what you currently have and what's within your current reality, to expand beyond that, you got to remember you don't have that capability yet, and you don't have that knowledge base yet. So we have to really be mindful not to try to manage how we're going to get there.
Hi, my name is Ronnie Cruz. After almost 2 decades as a career network marketer, I realized that despite continual work on my personal and professional development, that I had hit a massive brick wall. So I took a deep and honest look at myself, top to bottom, hoping to find answers. And my search led me to one conclusion. The definitions I held of my business, of my world, of my life were the very things holding me back. If I wanted to change, if I wanted to grow beyond my current circumstances, I had to wipe the slate clean and redefine. This show is dedicated to helping you identify the belief systems, the mindsets, the very definitions that have held you back, and then help you break through those limitations to finally create the life you've been working so hard to achieve. Welcome to the ReDEFINE Podcast.
All right, happy Thursday and happy podcast day to you. Welcome to the show if you're brand new. And of course, if you're an existing listener, welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I want to talk about setting goals. I think I mentioned this briefly in the last episode that we would talk about setting goals. And here we are. Let's might as well do it for today's episode. I want to reference a quote that I don't know who to attribute this quote to. I'm sure many people have come up with it independently of each other, because it's not an uncommon principle when it comes to the high performers and people who are teaching personal development and especially goal setting. But the quote is, "Your dream should push beyond your boundaries," right? It should push you beyond your boundaries. Very, very important principle. Another version of this is, set big, hairy, audacious goals. And I think the point is that you should set goals and have dreams for yourself that is beyond what you can do, right? It's beyond your current reality. Because if you already know you can do it, if you already know that you have the capability and that it's possible, then it's not technically a dream, right? It's reality. So a dream and a goal, I think, should really, really push you beyond those boundaries, because I'm a firm believer that we have unlimited capability. And if we don't push ourselves with new goals and with dreams that go beyond our boundaries, we never get closer to our full potential as human beings and what we're actually capable of. So I think it's really important to set these kinds of goals that you don't know whether or not you can do it, but you set them anyways because you become the person you need to become. And I think that creates a lot of fulfillment in life and going after these things. And I'll talk more about that particular topic in another episode. But from the goal setting standpoint, it really has to push you. It really has to be beyond what is realistically possible. What does this do? Well, of course, it stretches you, right? It stretches you. Let's say if you've never run a marathon. I'm a long distance runner, and even when before I ran my first marathon, I was like, well, I'm going to set my goal to run a marathon. And I did. And it wasn't just a marathon, but I ran what's called the Dopey challenge at Disney. It's 4 races in one weekend. It's a 5K, a 10K, half marathon, and a full marathon. Now, prior to that weekend, I had done a half marathon before, but I had never done a full marathon, 26.1. And I said, well, if I'm going to run 26.1, I might as well run the Dopey challenge, right, in one weekend. I've never done it before, and I honestly, I don't know if it's necessarily possible, but I believe in my ability. Let's see if I can do it. I push myself beyond my boundaries of running 48.6 miles in one weekend. It's that kind of thing. And so what setting these hairy, audacious goals does for you is it stretches you. Yes, you don't necessarily have the capability, and that's the kind of goal you want to set, right? You want to set a goal that you don't have the capability or ability to create in right now at this moment, so that it does in fact stretch you, so that you have to become more, so that you have to grow into and further towards your full potential and your unlimited capabilities, right? It's really, really important. Otherwise, you're just going to have the same results over and over again in your life, and that's how life becomes very stale, becomes very routine, becomes very bland. Right. And what ends up happening in that situation is that you just seek distraction, you seek diversion, and I mean, you just kind of, tune out. The going after a goal, I think, and a goal that stretches you and that's beyond your current capabilities, I think I find it more fulfilling. Again, that's conversation for another episode. So, I mean, there's a lot of benefits to it. Obviously, it allows you to become the person that you're ultimately meant to be, and it's one of those things that it's never ending. You can continually set goals that push beyond your boundaries till your time expires here in this life on this earth, and again, it just creates such a fun, fulfilling experience. Now, one caveat of this is, as you set these goals of creating outcomes and creating a life experience that is beyond what you currently have and what's within your current reality, to expand beyond that, you got to remember you don't have that capability yet, and you don't have that knowledge base yet. So we have to really be mindful not to try to manage how we're going to get there. Right. I think this is a mistake I see. Well, I know this is a mistake I've seen a lot of people make when setting these kinds of big, hairy, audacious goals, is that they try to manage how they're getting there. And in reality, again, you don't have the capability and you don't have the knowledge base. So you really have no idea at the root of it how to actually get there. But in trying to manage the path and carve out one specific way, you close yourself off to all the other infinite paths that you actually need to take to get there, right? This gets back to the conversation of the yin and yang, right? The structure, the having a plan, having an itinerary, really being very, very strategic and sticking to your guns on this one path. It closes you off to all the possibilities. So you have to really lean into the yin energy and allow for what's happening to happen in order for you to learn the lessons, in order for you to grow into that goal, in order for you to grow into that dream, right? If you don't, then you're only going to be able to manufacture results that you've already manufactured, because you're using you're using your existing knowledge base to try to manufacture an outcome that you've never manufactured before, right? Right. So really, really important. There's a certain level of needing to let go, and again, allow that yin energy, that divine feminine energy, that's very, very crucial to the creative process. It's very crucial to the achievement process. It's very crucial to achieving your dreams and achieving your goals, because without it, then you're just going to keep hitting your head against the wall, which is really the limitations of your own capability and knowledge base. If you're trying to create from that yang energy and that structure and that regimen and that push energy, you're never going to get there. I mean, you can get there, but you'll only get so far. And at the same token, it'll be much less enjoyable process, because again, as I talked about in the last episode, you're going to be at odds with the current reality so often in that kind of energy. So creating a plan, right, is wise. Set a goal, create a plan, but then also allow for what happens to happen. And therein lies the different crossroads of the paths that you can potentially take to learn the new things and to acquire the new knowledge bases and then acquire the capabilities to actually achieve the goal and the dream that was previously beyond your boundaries, right? That's how you push beyond your boundaries, leaning into the unknown. Right? You can't know everything when you're setting a new goal for yourself, because otherwise you're just creating more of the same results, right? So have a dream that pushes beyond your own boundaries and allow for what happens to happen. Really lean into the unknown part of it, because you cannot manufacture and manage the path to get there because you have no idea how to get there. Right. So allow. Again, it's that yin energy. It's that divine feminine. So we're going to be really talking a lot about this. It wasn't really my intention for today's episode, but it just happened to be that way. Hopefully this makes sense. If you're watching this on the YouTube, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. Hit the like button for this particular video. If you're listening to this on the podcast episode, go ahead and hit that plus and follow the show. Of course, many more episodes to come. We've got a fresh new one for you on Tuesday. So have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday with a fresh new one. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.